Hi kids. This parking light over here is burnt out on this side. I thought this was a good time to maybe try and experiment with some LED bulbs on these things. See how they look. AUXITO. I don't know how you say that. These bulbs I put in as the reverse lights, and I really liked them after trying a few different kinds. So let's go ahead and try them on these indicator, marker, blinker, driver lights. Installation on these is pretty simple. We're going to start on the driver's side by popping this piece of the air intake off. Just push down on it and that'll pop loose, and then the whole thing will come out, kind of like Legos sort of thing. Doing that will give us access to the bulb, which is right there. You just turn that, pull it out. Comes right out, see? Last time I played around with the light bulbs, I burned the crap out of my hand, so let's grab the napkin of safety. Pull that out. Let's put the new one in. I'd really love for one of you guys to tell me how that's pronounced. Now this has one set of contacts for the blinker and one set for the driving light, so we want to make sure that's working correctly and lines up with those prongs in there. I don't know, let's just guess one and try. Okay, that looks pretty good. And this is a yellow bulb as opposed to the clear bulb that's in the other one. I'm not sure how I'm gonna like this or how it's gonna look, but let's try it and see. What do you think? I'm not sure how well it shows up on the video, but it's a bit brighter than the incandescent bulb. I like that. That works for me. Now this one is the actual problem. So let's go ahead and pull that out and replace it. There we go. Plug that back in. That looks pretty good, but I want to show you something. Now this silliness is what we call hyperblink. Because the resistance of these bulbs is so much lower than your incandescent bulbs, the timing of the relay that makes them blink is going to be thrown off. So even though we have incandescents in the back still, they look like this. They blink too quickly, and because they're incandescents, they don't actually even get up to full brightness before they go back out. So you're actually causing, you know, a downgrade in your system. So how do we fix that? Now, there's a couple of different ideas you can use for trying to deal with this. You can get LEDs that have resistors built into them that are supposed to compensate for the lack of resistance in the LED bulb. The old school way was to just cut the wire a resistor in there and give it a little bit more resistance so that it sees what looks like an incandescent bulb on the end of the line. The trick I'm going to try is this. This is a variable adjustable blinker relay. We're going to pull the relay out of our fuse box in there, replace it with this one, and then by turning this knob we should be able to dial in the amount of blink that we want on these bulbs. So the relay that we're looking for is right there. Kind of hard to see, but it's that black thing that my finger's on behind all these giant wiring harnesses. You can put your finger on it and feel it working. So if you're questioning it, just turn your blinkers on and feel for it. But that's it. We're going to pull this one out and replace it with the one I just showed you. All right. So here's the deal. Our relay, our original Honda relay, is right there, and it's the one doing the hyperblinking. This is our custom one. And I've had to create this custom wiring harness to go on it because this relay is bigger than this relay and it won't fit in the hole. So I made this jump around. Here's a little bit better shot of the solution I came up with. A couple of crimp-on connectors, and on the other end is just spade connectors. Just plugged into the socket where the relay would go. And that's kind of my solution. Where there's a will, there's a way. Now let's tune this thing in, see how we like it. Put the cover back on. I'll probably go ahead and mount this over here somewhere. So now you can dial this thing anything from this slow granny speed here to, let's see, you can dial it right back into hyperblink, turn it back a little bit. Get the idea. Kind of like that right there. So that's all there is to that, kids. These are working pretty well. They've got a much sharper, crisper action to them. They're a good bit brighter. They're just turn signals, so they shouldn't be blinding anybody. They should be making it actually easier for people to predict what it is I'm trying to do with my car. I am perfectly happy with my workaround for the relay. I will end up mounting that permanently and leaving it there. That way, if I change out these sorts of things in the future with something else, something more modern, I can adjust it if need be. If you know of a direct swap-in relay that'll solve the hyperblink problem on a Honda Element, let me know down in the comments. I'd like to know. And until next time, this is Clint Searcy saying, you can do this, I promise.